because there is something I want to show you, something which goes back 1,000 years that to me symbolizes what these two things are. And they're not what you'd normally expect them to be, because a lot of us think, I've got to build my products, I've got to build my team or my marketing, thinking those are the things that can allow us to grow our business. And they do, but not in a viral way. When it comes to being viral, you need everything to be growing on its own. So what are these two things? The first one is something called your treasure chest. It's what you hold on to. Because here's the truth of it. Too many of us are holding on to too much of the wrong thing. Look, have a look at where I am right now. This is what I wanted to show you. This is the Tower of London. And the Tower of London was actually built right back 1066, over 1,000 years ago, by William the Conqueror. And it was there to protect him and his troops. But at the same time, it became, over time, a prison. But think about that. The thing you're actually building to protect yourself actually becomes your prison. And not only that, it became, because it was just so strong and the walls were so strong and it was so difficult to penetrate, the place where they kept the crown jewels. So imagine that you're now taking the things that you actually want people to steal the least and you're putting them in the same place as the prisoners and the people who are most likely to steal them. But when you actually start seeing the paradox of having a treasure chest, you've got to make sure it's the right size. You're going to make sure it's actually going to serve you, or else you're going to end up being trapped in the walls of your own business. So what is a treasure chest? Treasure chest is something which is authentically yours. A treasure chest is something which allows you to be able to open the doors on the growth of your business without worrying people are going to steal stuff from you. If you are a dynamo genius, your treasure chest will be based on your creativity. People like Walt Disney, the treasure chest wasn't a particular movie or character. The treasure chest was the entire flow of new movies and new characters. Think about Apple computers. It's not about a particular product. The treasure chest is the ongoing flow of products that come about by having those crown jewels, which are basically the code by which you're creating those products, or the environment in which you're creating them that actually makes all the difference. By the time you get from dynamo to blaze, same thing. You're going from creativity to the people. And when you actually look at people like Oprah Winfrey, the treasure chest is the people she knows. No one can take that away from her. It's hers. And when it comes to the tempo, which is now about your trading track record or your service track record, that becomes your treasure chest, whether you're George Soros or Mother Teresa. And by the time you get to the steal side, it's about your systems, your platform, whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook. They're not worried about people stealing the code of what they have because it's theirs. So treasure chest, most important thing, number one, is it's authentically yours. It's unique to you. Number two is it has to be something that the more it grows, the more you make. Your profits go up. It's not like it costs you more and more and more to grow the business, because just by growing it, you already hold the rights to this thing. And the third thing is that the more you share it, the more it grows. Because if you're trying to do it all yourself, you're going to be stuck on the inside of the walls. You have others out there sharing it as well, and you'll see it grow, where in partnerships that you have, everyone ends up making more money, including you. If I take my treasure chest, like the Wealth Lighthouse, which is the body of knowledge of everything I've learned over my life, yeah, totally. As people get more into partnership with us, as people go out and build businesses around what we do, then of course we end up making more, but they make more as well. And what do? I make sure that what I do stays authentic. Did you know that with the Tower of London, Isaac Newton was the guy in the Tower of London who was focusing and making sure people weren't counterfeiting. He was actually the master of the mint. The Royal Mint, which is where all the money was actually printed inside the Tower of London for many, many years. And so he was the guy who actually, after coming down from Cambridge, after his scientific career, became the person who was in charge of looking for the counterfeiters, making sure that the currency stayed authentic. And that's what your goal is as well, to make sure that you're staying true to your treasure chest. So that then takes us to the second thing. What's the second thing? Well, if you're holding on to one thing, your treasure chest, you can let go of everything else. Every one of the most viral companies in the world has a second thing, which is called their gold dust. And your gold dust is the thing that you're not having to push because people are out there already sharing it freely with each other. Gold dust is when you're actually saying, what do I have which I'm not trying to push, but that people can share freely in such a way that it just grows virally without me. It could be a particular product that you have, but it's always going to be an experience. I'm recording this on an iPhone right now, and an iPhone's gold dust. It's a product, but the experience people have from it is such they'll share it with their friends. So Apple doesn't have to go out and spend money for you to share it with your friend and for your friend to then go out and buy it as well. So it just grows virally. If you have a page on Facebook and you're sharing it with your friends, that's gold dust to Mark Zuckerberg, because he didn't have to do anything for you to be out there taking ownership and wanting to share it as well. We have the Genius test, for example, which is a free test. When people take that, it's gold dust to us because they can share it on freely to others as well. So the first thing about gold dust is that it has to be something that by you being able to get out there and just let it into the market, people can share freely and scale freely. So it has to share and scale freely. The second thing is that it can't take any of your time, because that's marketing, right? It takes your time, takes your money. But this is the opposite of marketing. It doesn't take your time. It's going to grow massively without you. And then the third thing is that it can't cost you any money, which means it's either free or it's making you money. Just like someone buying an iPhone, Apple makes the money. Someone buys our wealth dynamics test, we make some money. Because at the end of the day, if you can do that, then the more it grows from your treasure chest out to the gold dust, the more you're going to see yourself scaling without having all of that cost that normally comes with the way that we grow our business the more traditional way. Your treasure chest and your gold dust. You might be noticing all of these poppies down here at the moment, wondering what's going on here, that you've got like this unbelievable sea of red all around the tower. So why is that? This to me is a perfect example of gold dust. What happened was they said, well, it's the 100th anniversary of the First World War. First World War was 1914, it's now 2014. And so as a way for them to celebrate, instead of going out trying to market, spend lots of money, they said, let's just give people an experience. Let's give them a poppy. 880,000 poppies, the total number of British soldiers who died during World War I. And what we'll do is we'll take it just one poppy at a time. If you want to buy a poppy and donate, it's £25,000. We'll plant the poppy. Tell your friends. And so people wanted to be part of that experience. They wanted to be part of something historic. And so they started planting. And they planted, and they planted, and they ended up with this incredible sea. So what is it in your business that you could be doing to create your treasure chest and at the same time to create your sea of opportunity? I'll leave that thought with you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch up with you again soon.